Hey there, it's CJ Miller. I'm in my kitchen in Shreveport, Louisiana, across the Red River from Bossier City, Louisiana. Now, if you're Southern, or I don't know, you know this recipe or some variations of it. It's very forgiving, a very loose recipe. Salmon patties. So I've got the oil going over here, and what I've done was I've taken about a sleeve of your some recipes call for panko breadcrumb or something. When you don't have that, use crackers, man. Crackers are great for this. So I used a sleeve of butter crackers. That's like townhouse crackers. Keebler townhouse crackers in the green box. But you can use Ritz, you can use whatever, but some sort of cracker. One sleeve of it. I matched that consistency uh, in just about equal portions with a self-rising flour. It's a matter of taste. You don't have to use self-rising. But really, uh, then I added the 2 cans of salmon. You could check it for bone and skin. Mine didn't have an excessive amount, so I didn't really worry about going through that too much. And if you got kids that are picky, maybe you don't want them to see the coming out of the can in case there's skin and bone or something like that. But the way it is, it's not that much. So I left mine in, and then um, the real the variations that are going to come in here would be the flavor. Because I used 2 eggs per can, and then to start from that, or to go on from that, I used maybe about 2 tablespoons of dried dehydrated onions. You can use onion powder, you could use fresh onion, whatever. I also used 2 tablespoons of chives, dehydrated. This is what I had on hand. You can use fresh if you want. You actually maybe want to think about using a little bit more onion and a little bit more chive if you're using fresh, because dehydrated sometimes has more flavor. I used a 2 tablespoons of a onion blend, not an onion blend. I'm sorry, an Italian blend, just a green Italian herbs, uh, uh, dehydrated, of course, dried, dehydrated, and just put them in. And then I used about a tablespoon of Old Bay seasoning, about a tablespoon of black pepper. Uh, and then I had some a soft white cheese with pesto in the cheese. And so I cut that up in small rations and put in. So you'll see bits of it through here. And I thought that would be a really, really good addition to this. So then what you do is you make it a little puck size. And then you want to be careful how you handle it. Something like this, the less you handle, the better. Also, the bigger they are, the more the harder they're going to be to control. So I'll probably actually start working with the smaller circumference of this. Hang on 1 second. Let me check my fryer. I'll come right to you. Hey, so yeah, I'm not going to talk at you too long from this perspective, but what we want to do is we want to get a good crust on each side of this as we're frying. You can do it a little bit of oil and put it directly in the skillet and let the skillet do the browning. I want to do this kind of basket and do a little bit on each side. And yeah, once it gets about this crustiness on each side, then it's probably about done. And it's easier to handle once it's fried. I'm going to take it and put it, let's see, right over here. I love these containers, these little boxes that the canned soda comes in. I line it with paper. It's going to be perfect for draining. And then when it's all over with, I can just throw the box out, you know. Uh, so, yeah, that's cool. So now what I'm going to do is go back and make a couple of these ready to go. Because I think if I go a little smaller, I probably can get about 2 of these in here. You actually don't have to use the basket. This pan's bigger. I'll probably get more done if I didn't use a basket. But, for this first one, I wanted a nice little presentation. I'll show it to you when I take it out. Let's let it get a little crusty. All right, so I take in one of these patties. I make it about this size, about the size that'll fit in my fingers. And I put it in my egg wash. This is about a 60% egg wash, 60% egg to 40% solution. Otherwise, whatever, just the way I eyeballed it. I could be completely wrong on that, but that's how I feel. And then so I'm gonna let it sit there while I finish that other patty, and yeah, and that's what's gonna be good. And why I'm doing these is because I don't want to have to fool with being in the kitchen for the next couple of days as I'm getting ready to go on my trip. This is a good It's a good fish, and I love it. And maybe there'll even be a couple left I can take for my lunch. Uh, when I'm on my trip. For travel, because traveling. Uh, Sometimes the food is not that great, uh, and honestly, it's like you know, it's not that cheap either. So uh, so this will travel well. What? Okay, so what? The one thing I didn't mention that I forgot out of my list, the one other thing is I used some hot sauce. So the crystal hot sauce that I love, I put in a little bit of crystal hot sauce, shook it down, made about 10 to 15 dashes throughout this entire bowl originally. So we're about ready to take this other piece out. So let me check it, and I'll be right back with you. All right, so here we go, and this is what that one looks like that I just took out. Now, truthfully, you want to let the grease heat up a little bit in between. So I just got to put the lid on that. Uh, this one mention that I would give to the Gotham Steel Company. This fryer that I use with the basket, you cannot put a lid entirely on it because they did not make the basket to fit, say, uh, in a way that lets the handle fall down. Like if I close the handle, but nope. If I close the handle, I can put the lid on it. Sorta. Nope. Nope. That didn't work either. So, so now what I have is a failed experiment that I closed the handle on the lid. But no, uh, but that's cool. It'll be all right. I'm gonna continue to fry in the skillet, but this basket does not sit so that you could put a lid and it close down on it. Uh, but the pan itself was built to have. It's got pourable divots on the side of it. Like where you would pour out, say, a sauce or something like that. So that works anyway. I'm not too edged about it. This is what this looks like, and then I will do a video when these are done about some food. Actually, I'll just continue on with this on this video. But when I get ready to eat, I'll come back and show you what it looks like on the plate, being cut with a fork, going in my face. Hang on. Okay, so here we are. Now, what I have on the plate, this makes a great small plate, by the way, especially when you do them around this size, hockey puck size. You can make them smaller and put 2 or 3 of them on a plate. But yeah, so I have some, it's a Sweet Baby Ray's horseradish sauce. This is a tarragon and garlic powder aioli that I just mixed here. And this is a pesto that I had. So that's great. I'm going to try, and I think I like it in the 3 different positions and stuff. So I'm going to try you can use a knife if you want to. This is a soft food. You don't really need a knife, but maybe civilization-wise, you want some. Really, if I were plating this in a restaurant, maybe I would do 3 small silver dollar. And then, of course, they cook quick. So the smaller they are, you run the risk of overdoing it. This is pretty right about where I need to be, but it says the aioli sauce. Oh, that is great. Guess I want to cut out a little bit for this horseradish. All these sauces are great. You can do variations. This is the kind of food that you really want to have a sauce with because it just sets it off. Pesto, and this is a pesto that I had opened, so it was in the fridge, so it's a cold pesto. You could heat up a pesto if you want. I don't mind something like this being served cold. The pesto. Mm. This is really good. The reason why I chose this one in particular to put on the plate is because it came out, this one, in that second batch that I just had one in to match the size of the other one. It came out just a little bit darker. And really, I just want to exemplify, this is as dark as they need to be. They can be lighter. But don't go any darker than this one on the crust. Otherwise, it would be, you run the risk of being overcooked. Now, this is really delicious. And there's all those different seasonings and the pesto cheese that I put in here. So occasionally you're going to get a mouthful of that cheese. That's what I'm looking for. Where's my, there it is. See how it's pulling apart in there? This is great. This can be served as an opening, or it can be served as a main meal. We'll sit here and eat this entire thing. This is, you can do this same treatment with lump crab meat. Although I've got a cream cheese crab cake recipe that is just outstanding. That's very simple, that I'm saving for one day, because crab meat is expensive. And when I make crab meat, I like to use like real crab meat. So that's something that I have not done in a few years, because it's like, whoa. That was me leaning in to take a bite of some food. Okay. This recipe, you can vary it, go with your own taste and everything. But it is definitely a winner. If you try out some salmon patties, salmon cakes, salmon croquettes, whatever you want to call them, yeah, let me know if you tried them and what you think. And what are some tips that you like to use in your recipe? This is a very simple, old school recipe. My grandmother used to make things like this, you know. Not well, she made it for her family. When she became a grandmother, she was like, I don't really need to cook because all the kids are grown, and the grandkids, I'll just give them a honey bun. So we went to see her. Instead of getting like a home cooked meal, we got a honey bun. I had another grandmother that cooked constantly, but she always had people. But yeah. Okay, cool. So I love you guys. I will see you soon. Bye.